Hi guys, welcome back to more episodes of the X-Files. Moving on, our last episode, The Amazing Melini, was really good in the fact that I couldn't work out what the hell was going on. Just the odd bit and pieces here that was meant to be misdirection, because that's what magicians are good at doing. But the whole plot of it, right from the beginning, they knew what we were doing. We didn't, and it was great trying to work it out, which I couldn't. It's easier to work out a normal case than that, because that's what magicians are trying to do, is to get us to not see what they're doing. That's the whole point of misdirection and redirection. So I enjoyed that episode very much. I didn't even pick up on the fact that he had a twin brother as to how they did it. There's still the one thing we never found out was how he made his fucking head spin round. I like that they left that as a part of the X-File that's going to remain unexplained. The rest was pretty much not really that, but it was still a thorough, enjoyable episode. And if you do want to watch it, obviously it's available on the playlist as normal on the channel. So we're going to move on. Just before I do, if you haven't subscribed already and you enjoy the X-Files, do not forget to click the button down here and give the video a like if you enjoy it at the end. We will continue with episode 9 of season 7.
Praise God.
He's religious.
This here sinner repents. Holy Ghost, move up on me. Protect me and mine with your quickening power.
Medical results. Is it him? Is it the girl? How has it got in here? I mean, that would make most people freeze, gotta admit. Well, that's all 6 shots.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. Goodbye.
Snakes.
It's the former Mr. Jared Chirp of McMinn County, Tennessee.
Holy crap.
God.
116 separate bite marks. Judging from the wound measurements, there were 50 different snakes involved. Yeah, with a pistol in his hand, he fired 6 shots into the floorboards, into the passenger seat, even into his own right kneecap, and especially because these rattlesnakes tend to hibernate in winter.
So you think that Mr. Chirp was murdered?
Yeah, so he's covered and riddled, pardon the pun, with snake bites, died from it, shot himself in the knee in the process, but in the car with a gun with the doors locked. So it's not he was murdered somewhere else, or it happened somewhere else and someone dumped the body in the car. How'd you get bit by a load of snakes in a locked car and there's no snakes?
I mean, serpents and religion have gone hand in hand. They've represented the temptation of Eve, original sin. They've been feared and hated throughout history as they've been thought to embody Satan. Are you going to type that on our travel request?
No. My name is Fox Mulder. This is Dan Scully with the FBI. May we speak with you, sir? We apologize for our timing. We'd like to ask you a few questions about Jared Chirp. Specifically, you had suspicions about the manner in which he died?
Here we go.
The Church of God with signs and wonders. It practices snake handling.
As a sign of faith, worshippers handle deadly snakes or drink poison.
Jared grew up in that church.
Well, that's
but
nuts.
It is very difficult to walk away from a belief system that one is raised in.
He's brainwashed.
It takes great courage. A rigid interpretation of the Bible was not for them, especially when it involves risking life and limb in the act of worship. All this
'Cause they laughed.
animus stems from their church leader, Enoch O'Connor.
Sounds more like a cult that makes you harm yourself to be able to believe. Hurt you. Signs
Snake
and
handling.
wonders.
Didn't learn that in catechism.
This is a new one on me.
Funny, I knew a couple of Catholic schoolgirls who were expert at it. I don't know, Scully, when you get right down to it, is snake handling any harder to buy into than communion wafers? And O'Connor's seem to be based on the same book.
It's been let out. That's why. Good God. This reminds me of that fucking thing from the movie when they got caught with the bees. Brilliant movie, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Connor,
Slowly.
we're federal agents. We're, with the FBI.
Reverend,
Call off your
something about
snakes.
these snakes, please.
That boy strayed from the path and was lost to the dark one.
That sounds about
I'm
right.
sorry for his soul. When the devil aims to test you, You best be ready.
But people will buy into whatever they want to buy into. It depends on their own mental state.
Well, Mulder, there are other people in his congregation.
Jared Sherb died with a packed suitcase by his side. There's got to be somebody that knows where he was headed.
I kept her from speaking to Jared his last night on Earth. I couldn't have known, though.
Well, no.
I couldn't have.
No, you couldn't have known.
Revelations 3, the 16th verse. If you're lukewarm, he will vomit you out of his mouth. Yes.
Now, that could sound pretty harsh, couldn't it?
When it's taken out of
depending on how one
context,
reads
like
it.
everything in the Bible is.
But if we put this verse in a historical context, I think we'll see that
Everything's open to context and interpretation. Look at how he's interpreting it.
God wants you to put your money where your mouth is.
Oh, why is it always this? Why is God always broke? I mean, if nothing else, God seems to be really bad at managing money. I'm just letting this tell me here. I mean, the fact this dude died in a car on his own with no sign of any snakes. And it's just happened to her. Snake bite. Yeah. Are these being manifested by the host?
Reverend, how close was Iris to Jared Sherb?
not particularly close, but I'd spoken with her not 15 minutes earlier about him.
What'd you talk about?
She was upset. Something about Jared calling her the night he died, looking for Gracie. Something
That's
about
what's
him.
done it.
Gracie, we're investigating the leader of your former church.
We would appreciate anything you could tell us about him.
No, he didn't do this. No, he didn't
Why are
do
you
this.
so sure?
This is Satan's work, not man's.
Oh, here we go.
Keeping an open mind, Gracie, is it conceivable that O'Connor could have done any of this?
No!
When Gracie got pregnant,
O'Connor barred her from his church.
Yeah.
You coming?
I think I'll check around back.
Yeah, I'll leave the snakes at the door, thanks. Alice? Besides that chain on the handle, man.
Some powerful good news, maybe.
What, like death?
I'd say it's good news for you that she's not here right now, considering what you tried to do to her. Succumbed to multiple snake bites in June 1994.
Been here before.
It happened during a church service. Or at least that's what you told local police. Righteous enough for you? Just like your daughter's boyfriend?
Satan is near and you don't even have eyes. You're just proud and fancy-free.
What about your daughter? What were your plans for her?
I pray and I pray because she's lost.
Because she no longer believes as you do?
You still don't believe your father did it?
It don't matter what I believe. He'll be judged as he deserves.
Can't we lock up? What's going to happen here now? He's summoning his snakes. What are they going to do? Bend the bars back? Okay, I don't quite know what he's praying to them. Like you've been run over by a fucking juggernaut.
Deputy found him about an hour ago. There's no telling when he was attacked.
Huh.
I guess it's looking less and less like he's a suspect.
Well, it is now.
Unless he somehow managed to do this to himself.
I just spoke to his doctors. It's a toss-up as to whether he's going to pull through this.
And you're thinking that her actions may not be entirely motivated by concern for her father's eternal soul? You think this is what she meant?
Well, she grew up around snakes, Mulder. Who's to say she isn't every bit as
Yeah,
adept
but
at
he
handling them
summoned
as
them.
he is?
The housekeeper, it doesn't
Left
make
in a
any
hurry.
sense.
Packed one suitcase and a gun. It's not so hard to understand. It's a culture with a very well-defined set of rules.
Yeah.
In a society where hard and fast rules are harder and harder to come by, I think some people would appreciate that.
Medical results. What was this?
Lab results.
Yeah, I want to know what this was. We still don't know.
Am I reading this right? Did Jared Chirp have himself tested for sterility?
Which turns out to be more or less the case.
Oh, okay. I just saw the word infertile. No wonder the guy was pissed. The baby isn't his.
Dated the day he died.
So maybe he was killed because he discovered the truth.
Maybe it's the father.
Gracie.
Usually with cult leaders too, they do it too.
No. Said it was a worse sin not to trust God.
Really hope it's not him.
There are many ways to trust God, Gracie. Do you really not want him to get better?
It ain't for me.
No, I think you want him dead because
When
he
you first
may
came
be
to me,
kid's father.
You said that you wanted to think
Is that
for
why
yourself.
he offed the wife? I really, really hope I'm wrong with this. But this could be a simple case of child abuse and neglection. He could have been touching her, his own daughter, for years. Wife found out, shot the wife. Then she grows up, it continues, he keeps her in his fold. Boyfriend comes along, he brings him in on it. Then he finds out about the medical and that he's infertile, finds out the truth. Then he ends up dead. The woman ends up dead, yeah. They convince all the women and their kids that they should consummate with them. Oh. Ew. Yuck. There's all pus coming out of him.
I was away for 5 minutes. His bed's empty. Gracie is gone too. I may be able to answer that.
Please do.
Jared Chirp wasn't the father of Gracie's child.
Yeah, we know that.
What about it?
Enoch O'Connor is.
I'm right on her.
That's why she wanted to get away from him and his church as fast as she could.
Ding, ding, ding. I was right. Spotted it fairly quickly before they revealed it to us. It was starting to add up that the way the daughter's acting. I knew the minute we got the medical results from the boyfriend, and the fact that the wife was conveniently removed some time ago. Surprised. Wouldn't shock me if this is her first pregnancy. And maybe not just him. Maybe all of them. Dark desires. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God, it's fucking Rosemary's Baby. I still don't get the snake thing. How? This is weird. The snake thing's weird.
What happened here? Where's the baby?
No one's talking.
These folks aren't talking.
Nope, of course they're not.
Scully, take a look at this.
They're not going to talk.
Snakes.
Work that out.
Did you give birth to snakes?
You stole what was most precious to me.
Gracie? She came to me on her own. She fled a harsh and vengeful God. And you.
Jesus. Okay, you need to hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up!
Drop the knife!
He's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. Yeah, he's gonna do it.
Daddy. Daddy.
Gracie, it's Agent Scully. We're taking you to the doctor right now, okay?
Where's my daddy?
You're safe, Gracie. My partner's gone after him.
He saved me.
I told you, boy. You still don't know which side you're on.
It wasn't O'Connor. It was you. You
What?
killed Jared Chirp.
You're joking.
No, I'm just beginning to see it now. Did he confront you earlier that night only to see you for who you really are?
Just who is it you think I am?
Is that what happened with Iris Finster? Is that what this is really about? Ruining O'Connor? Seducing his daughter?
Are you a righteous man?
You got
Agent
me.
Mulder?
You
Stay
got
where
me.
you are.
How would you do?
Oh, balls. Well, I got it right. I just got the wrong person. What was going on with the door?
Where's Mulder?
Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Where is he? What, he vanished? Wow, I got this arse worry round.
They won't find him.
No, they won't.
People think the devil has horns and a tail. They're not used to looking for some kindly man who tells you what you want to hear. If this was some kind of test, looks like I failed.
I'd say if it was, you passed with flying colors. You're alive, aren't you?
Who has such an open and modern way of looking at God.
Crap.
Bless you for saying so.
Well, I won't keep you. I just wanted to welcome you to Hampton.
Here we go again. Another new small little town in the arse of nowhere that no one is looking for you. Gonna eat that, are you? Oh my god. He's a snake. In the grass. Okay, episode 9. You got me. Bastard. That was actually a really good episode because I was starting to figure stuff out. I still couldn't work out who it was who was manifesting the snakes. It all was leading. He did a number on that. He knew exactly how to make this all look like it was Enoch. Especially seeing as he's so a lot to handle. His sermons and the things that he comes out with now make sense because he knew he had a snake amongst him, literally. I got onto it when the medical results came out and that it wasn't the young lad's kid. And I was purposely focusing on the father because that was the logical sense as to why the mother was gone. And in 90% of abuse cases, especially when the girl gets to adulthood, and in particular in her circumstances, they are so conditioned to being on the side of their abuser that they protect them. They will do anything at all costs because they're actually terrified of them, and they think that no one else can protect them from that, and no one else can possibly know the truth and can intervene. And so I was going down that route. I did not realise it was the other guy. I did mention it as a one-off comment. I hope it's not him before we found all of that out, and then I came away from it. But this episode did the same thing. It misdirected the viewer. It misdirected me. That was well done. I enjoyed that. That was good. I will say I wasn't expecting the final scene with him leaning back in the chair with the mouse. That scene, I know a snake came out, but for those of you who may have seen it, who are probably my age group, maybe not much younger, that reminded me of the very first scene as a young kid. Well, no, not young kid, maybe 11, 12 or something, of a series called V, with aliens that come down who are our friends, and it turns out they're reptiles, and it was a woman in charge called Diana, and the first scene we ever see of it confirming what we all believe was her picking up a mouse, leaning back in a chair, the mouth opening wide, and her eating the mouse. That reminded me of that for some reason. I don't know why, because it was very similar. For those of you who haven't seen it, you've probably got no clue what I'm talking about. I may actually do that series on here, actually, at some point, because I can barely remember any of it, just the odd scene. So it would be a good rewatch as a classic sci-fi thing, because it's only like a mini series. Anyway, that's getting away from the point. That was actually a really good episode. I enjoyed it. By all means, post your comments down below. Let me know if you figured that one out before I did, because that got me. Damn, I hate it when it gets me. But then again, if you can work out every storyline and every bad guy and every circumstance, it becomes repetitive. It becomes boring. It's better when it makes you think, it makes you reevaluate, it makes you question. That's the whole point of a detective, if nothing else. Never mind, our Scully and Mulder here being FBI agents. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. If you want to watch the episode in full length, you can over on Patreon. As always, just check the links in the description. I will be back with episode 10 in the next few days. Till then, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would appreciate you quick click of the button down here so you don't miss any more episodes. I will see you for the next one. Take care.